Cyclists coming in, pouring in, an absolutely fantastic time to be here as they receive this medal, which I'll be collecting next year. Johnny, you promised me that tandem, hey? So I hope you're listening because you said I must say it. Next year, we'll be wearing the 2009 medals.
Thanks very much, Lebo. And by the way, Johnny has gone for a rest now because he realises he has to ride next year. Nigel had some really bad luck there, didn't he, Kim? I mean, punctures, crashes. He looked very upset too.
He did, but he had a full face, like a downhill mountain bike helmet on for full protection. So I doubt he would have got hurt.
Good job he did.
Yeah.
Anyway, it seems not everybody then is going to ride out a personal best time on what is a perfect day. But of course, those who get personal best times today may never approach them again because surely the weather will never be as nice as this again.
Absolute glorious day, Phil. I think there'll be a lot of happy people today, definitely slashing their previous records. And we see the colours of Kelme.
Yes, that's a team that's long since dropped out of professional cycling and was the longest running team in the sponsorship of the sport, Kelme, but it's gone now. As the old jersey is still around, though the old ones are always the best. Now, let's just have a quick count, Kim. How many Arguses have we all ridden in the commentary box? Johnny said he'd done 3.
1.
You've only done 1?
Well, I've done 4, actually. 4.
4, that's 7 for us, and then
Yeah,
I can't remember, I have to be honest. I started the question as well, and I can't remember how many I've done. But I think I've done 5.
Oh, good heavens.
That makes me the most experienced in the commentary box.
It does.
Brilliant. And I'm probably the fastest too because Johnny was useless. Well, any time's good enough as long as you get to the finish safely and you enjoy the rest of the day. And the day is but young. Look, 10 minutes to 12. We've been talking for nearly 6 hours, Johnny.
Interestingly so, Phil, and just looking through the different times and how the race was adjudicated in early editions. It was run on Saturday at first, if you remember that one. And then, of course, the other thing is they declared the fastest time on the day as the overall winner, irrespective of where he came from. So you'll see if you look through the old results, often there's a recumbent that ends up as the fastest time, while the two-wheel bike would have been a completely different racing professional. Quite interestingly so.
That makes it very difficult to keep statistics on the event, of course, over the history. But then nobody dreamt it was going to become as large as this. It was started just by a bunch of bike riders, and it's grown into enormous proportions. And the organisers told me that they were capping at 38, and we get 39,000 today, so something's happened.
Well, I have a different theory altogether. I think, and Dave Ballez hates this when I mention this, and so do the other organisers, we should run this race on 2 days. On the Saturday for the post 4.5 hour guys, and on a Sunday for the sub 4.5 hour guys. I think the infrastructure's here. Obviously, all the human personnel will absolutely moan at the thought of this one, but it's one way of doubling the numbers effectively and not congesting it more.
Well, that was a recumbent cyclist just going past there. They lie down on the job, you see, and to have a chicken on your head at the same time is pushing your luck a bit, I think, don't you?
I noticed you've ignored that comment about the double day.
I did ignore it because I thought...
You're one of the organisation then, I take it?
No, but to run it over 2 days, Johnny, means we have to work 2 days as well.
Well, you could get 2 per diems, Liggy. I think it
I hadn't thought of that. What a good idea. That means I can
riders
get 2 cups of coffee.
Absolutely. The riders keep coming, Kim Carter, and now we really are down with respect to some of the guys that have suffered out there for 4 and 5 hours, perhaps, if they've got away early this morning. Tough out there for them. The exposure gets to them as well.
These boys hit page 95 on the Argus results when we buy the Cape Argus in the week, but it doesn't matter. And you know, my wife is riding today, and she won the women's prize once as in her age group. And today she was going for a ride. She met a couple of Irish friends flying out here from London. She hadn't seen for 22 years, and guess what they were doing? They were flying to take part in the Cape Argus Pick and Pay Cycle Tour. So she moved into their group, and off they potted around the island. But the thing is, if you're too far behind today, there'll be no coffee at the coffee shops.
We're all fetching, and I believe she walked up Lion's Head yesterday, or she threatened to do that. Did they actually do it with the Irish guys?
No, I think she decided to watch the rugby on television instead.
Probably more sensible. The Sharks having a big day again in the Super 14 competition, so we're looking good on all fronts.
I was thinking more about the English squad, and they were hopeless. They got beat by Scotland.
As usual. Did you see the World Cup final, Liggy?
I did, yes. Yes, it was excellent.
Never let you forget that. Kim Carter, what do you say?
Well, for fear of being lynched, I've actually become a Sharks supporter, having moved to Durban, so yay for the Sharks on that game.
All right, well, as they continue, as always, Romy Titus is going to come to the rescue of the commentators, bolted at the finishing line, so back to Jubilee Square.
Thank you so much. And yes, commentators, you can take a break, but just for a little bit. Beautiful Simonstown, as you can see. And if you've wondered what that monstrosity in the harbour is, it is, however, a German naval vessel.